Today we will be doing a dissection or eating a full lobster. No lobster roll, just the full lobster itself. Let's get out our tools. We have the bucket to put the shells. We have where we're gonna eat it. We have a cracker. If you live in Maine, you know what this is. This is to crack open the shell. This is to like pry the meat out. We have butter, melted butter. You have to have melted butter to dip it in. I don't have crackers. Crackers do go good with it. All right, so let's get him out. Guys, what are we gonna name him? All right, here we go. You wanna see it? Larry the Lobster. Ha, so original. There it is. That's Maine right there. This is the Maine experience. Just so you know, they're not always like the bright red. That's only when they're cooked, of course. Well, not everyone knows that, but he's pretty big. He's like almost 2 pounds. He's like 1.7 pounds. First, what everyone goes for is the claw. The claw meat is the best. It's great. It's tasty. It's amazing. All right, so you just rip it off like that. You go at it with your hands. You break apart the joints. It does squirt. Look how it has like thorns and stuff on it, so it's a little hard to get at, but usually, oh, there we go. Usually you can just snap it apart like that. So then if you see there's meat inside there, so you just kind of can use some of your tools you have here. Just pick it out. Meat, butter. We did purchase it cooked, yes. That's how you do it. A little messy, but it's the best way. Honestly, I'd probably rather eat a lobster like this than a lobster roll. I mean, it's more work, but it's pretty satisfying. So lobster roll, what they do is it's like the lobster meat, usually claw meat, and then yeah, and then you put it in a bread roll, and it's pretty good. And then there's like mayo, and the most meat comes from the claw. We're still in the joints. All right, here we go. First claw. Look at that. All the juices coming out. All right. And then there's a bit of meat also inside. Well, this stuff is really sweet inside this, like, I don't know, his thumb, I guess. Larry's thumb. Look at that. This right here, if you ever had lobster, you know that part. Very sweet. Really good. All right. Now it's time for the claw. Day in the life of an average Maine resident. Yes. Lobster mac and cheese. Oh, that does smack, but I can't tell you how many times I've got lobster mac and cheese and got like 2 pieces of lobster in the whole thing. It's such a scam most of the time. But I mean, if you make it right or get out a good place, then it's really good. But most places, like I've got in New York before, literally found maybe 2 pieces. Yeah, and it costs a lot. That's a good one. So there's multiple types of lobster. There's soft shell, and then there's hard shell. Hard shell isn't as sweet. It's a little less tender, so soft shell is the best. Because what they do is just like any other, like, I don't know. You know, like snakes shed their skin? Lobsters actually shed their shell. So if you catch one right after, and when they shed it, their meat turns super sweet. So if you can get it right after they shed it, they shed their shell, it's super, super sweet. And if you get it like the day of, it's like there's no shell. And we call those jelly bellies because they taste like a jelly bean. And they're soft to the touch. I have gone lobster fishing. One of my mom's old bosses from her work retired and became a lobsterman. And he took us out. And we got to go lobster fishing. And it is not an easy task. We did not get to sit down the entire day. It's hard labor. If you're on the boat, you're working. And my finger's stuck. Okay, it's good. And is lobster fishing with no nets. It's all traps. So basically, you have, and this is like a big part of, when I say it, it might ring a bell. But if you've seen any like artwork of Maine in terms of like a lighthouse or like the ocean, stuff like that. Yeah, so basically they have like these little traps, and they have big buoys that are colored, and you have your own designated pattern, so you know which traps are yours, right? So you set up your traps, and then basically you usually have like one captain, obviously the guy driving the boat, and then you have one guy that is pulling them up, and usually you just check if you have any. If they're a female, you like clip the tail, you throw it back in, and or if they have eggs, yeah, it's pretty easy to check. You just check under their tail, you throw it back in. And if not, what you do is you throw it in a tank, and then once it's in the tank, you they actually put these rubber bands that you see right here on the claw. They put that on the ship, like right as you get it, you get. No, you don't put it in the tank. You give it to the guy with the rubber band station, puts on rubber bands, throws it in a tank, and then at the end of the day, you go back to like wherever you're selling them, and you give them your tank. That's pretty much how it works. And then you have to put bait back into the tank, the traps. And what you do, it's like you take like 4 fish. It's really hard to you take like 4 fish, and you line them up. You hold it. You go one at a time, and you spear them through the eyes. It's like this crappy fish. I don't know. It's just used for bait, and they're like pretty big. They're like this long, and you hold one up, and you take a spear, and you spear it through the eye. You put it on the end of the spear. You take another, and then you put like 4 all on one like hook, and then you put it through the trap, and then you put it back down in the ocean and go back like in 2 days. Are lobsters big crawfish? No, they're their own thing. Yeah, lobster is it's a pretty big deal around here. Pretty much like half the restaurants you can eat at in Maine serve lobster. So we take a lot of pride. All right, that's claw number 1. This one I'm gonna save and send to a it'll be a memento for the Subathon. Okay, here we go, last piece. Oh. There, I hit the spot. See, the meat is really sweet. And then what you do, you get salted butter, and the butter, the sweet and salty. No, I'm not eating the eyes. Let Larry live. Alright, this claw will be saved as a memento for the Subathon. I'm going to sign my name on like that side right there. That's the cleaned tail. And we're done here. Alright.